ready to sing the banana song? 1, 2, 3.
I like bananas. I know the mangoes are sweet. I like papayas, but nothing can beat that sweet, sweet love of God. I like bananas. I know the mangoes are sweet. I like papayas, but nothing can beat that sweet, sweet love of God. I was walking around in circles, 5 miles an hour, trying to find my way back to my heavenly Father. Taste is sweet, soon it turns sour. Then I asked him in and received his power. 1, 2, 3. I like bananas. I know that mangoes are sweet. I like papayas, but nothing can beat that sweet, sweet love of God. I was walking around in circles, 5 miles an hour, trying to find my way back to my heavenly Father. Taste is sweet, soon it turns sour. Then I asked him in and received his power. 1, 2, 3. I like bananas. I know that mangoes are sweet. I like papayas. Nothing can beat that sweet, sweet love of God. I like bananas. One more time. I like bananas. I know that mangoes are sweet. I like papayas. Nothing can beat that sweet, sweet love of God. Yeah!
Hey, do you remember our memory verse? It's found in Galatians 5 verses 22 through 23. For the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control.
We have a lot in store for you, so stick around and I'll see you later. Bye! Hi everybody, my name is Amy and I'm going to be going over another fruit of the Spirit for today. And the fruit that we're going to be focusing on is called gentleness. So far this summer, you guys have learned about a bunch of different fruits of the Spirit. And so you guys have love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, which is today's, and next week we'll cover self-control. And so the more time that you spend with Jesus and you learn about Jesus, we should be growing spiritual fruit. Okay, that doesn't mean that like out of my head I start growing cherries and out of my arm I start growing an apple and different things like that. Not real fruit, but spiritual fruit, because God is looking at us as if we are trees. Okay, and if we're trees that are next to a really beautiful river, and that is like God watering us, we should be growing tons of fruit. I'm going to take you guys on a tour of my backyard tomorrow morning, and I'm going to show you guys how during quarantine our backyard has transformed into a, maybe not fruit garden, but a vegetable garden. And what is something that we're doing that's different from before is we're actually watering. And watering really does make a difference.
Hey everybody! Well, just like I promised last night, I'm going to give you guys a little tour of our vegetable and fruit garden. Now, before quarantine, there was nothing here. Everything was just dirt in these planters. We had a lot of junk in here, but since we're at home, Ezekiel right here, he's become our little farmer, and this is his garden. And if you look at all of this growth, you know, all of this happened because we started to do something to it. We watered. And watering makes a really big difference. And it's just like in the Bible, when you are spending time with Jesus it's like you're watering your life, and you start to grow. And again, as you start to grow and become close to Jesus, you start growing fruit. So I want you to take a look over here. This right here is a cantaloupe plant. We haven't had anything open up yet, but every single one of these flowers
Will be a cantaloupe.
hopefully will be a cantaloupe. Yeah. Right over here, we have some beets. We haven't
And then Mom
picked them
cut.
yet. Yes, I did cut the tops off for a soup. Over here, every single one of these yellow flowers will become a zucchini.
Yeah, and
And we do have one growing right over here, if you can see it. Here. It's growing down there. And then right over here, we picked these for dinner already, but there are some purple beans here.
snap beans. You mean?
Yes, right here that are growing. Again, because we're actually watering for the first time. Here's some more right here.
And when we are spending time with Jesus, it's kind of like we're getting watered. And as we get watered, we begin to grow. And when we grow, because we're supposed to be fruit plants, spiritual fruit plants, we're supposed to have spiritual fruit. And one of them is gentleness. So when we look at gentleness, gentleness is something that in our world that we live in today, it's not rewarded. Many times when people hear the word gentleness, they think of the word weak, okay? But gentleness is nothing close to weak. When we look in the Bible, Jesus calls himself meek or gentle. And we know that Jesus is definitely not weak. He overcame death, right? So he is strong. He is actually the strongest person out there, but he could still be gentle. And in Greek, the word meek actually comes from the word praeus. And what the Greeks were thinking about when they created the word praeus was they thought of wild horses. And when you think about wild horses, I mean, we don't see very many today, or I haven't seen any in person, but I have seen a story of a wild horse in a movie. And they're really scary. You can't get close to them. You can't even like lasso one because it'll just go crazy on you and it might kick you in the face. You have to be careful. You could get killed by one. But it has so much strength. But you look at a wild horse and you see how useless it is because all of that strength is just all over the place. And that's pretty much how everybody in our world lives today. People think that if you're mean, if you are self-seeking, if you are inconsiderate, if you are rude, you can get your way in life, right? But that's wrong. When we spend more time with Jesus, we know that being more like Jesus is what is good and that what he's meant for us in our lives. So it's the opposite of doing all those things. Instead of being rude to somebody or being inconsiderate, whether it's in the way that we speak, maybe it's the tone of our voice, maybe it's us yelling at somebody, or how we treat somebody, it should be gentle. And doing that does not show weakness. So what praeus means remember that word is the Greek word for meek, which means gentleness. It means strength coming under control. Because all of us can fly off the handle and get mad if we want, but does that do anything good? No, it doesn't. Okay, in the Bible, it says, in Proverbs 15:1, it says, a gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. Have there been times when you wanted to say something really mean, maybe to your brother or maybe to your sister or to somebody at school? And instead of doing that, in the Bible it says, all that's going to do is create more anger. But a gentle answer can turn away wrath. And so I'm also learning that too through this Bible study. Also, I want us to study a little bit about Jesus and what the Bible says about Jesus as our shepherd. It says here in Isaiah 40:11, he will tend his flock like a shepherd. He will gather the lambs in his arms. He will carry them in his bosom and gently lead those that are with young. So look at that beautiful picture that is drawn of Jesus. Jesus is like a shepherd. And as you guys know about shepherds, they are the ones with, the shepherd rod, and they're looking over all the sheep. And they have to take care of the sheep because the sheep are really, really not smart. Many times the sheep go off and astray, and that's like us. Sometimes we listen to Jesus and we say, "Oh, I love you, Jesus," and then the next moment we're doing something different that Jesus wouldn't want us to do. But does Jesus come over to us, hook us by the neck, and say, "Bad Amy, and I'm going to hit you and I'm going to punish you"? No, he does not say that. He's so gentle. And when one does go astray, what does he do? He picks it up and he carries it back to meet the other 99. And he celebrates that one has come back. He doesn't yell at the sheep and say, "Bad sheep, I'm going to give you a spanking, when we get back, and I'm going to show you." See, that's not Jesus. Jesus is gentle. And that's how we need to act. And again, the more time that we spend with Jesus, the more our hearts should be transformed to want to act like Jesus. Okay? I have here a lion. Okay? Now, this lion, in the Bible, they compare God to a lion. Okay? Now, tonight on Disney Plus, our family just watched The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. And it's a story about a big lion, and his name is Aslan. And he is going to basically save a kingdom, but he roars really loud, just like our God. It says in the Bible that our God is fierce, and he is always called the Lion of Judah. And the thing is if God is this lion, does he always act like that? No, God is so strong. But what he does is he is so gentle with us, even though he is so capable of doing everything to us because he's so strong. But he doesn't take his strength out on us. He knows how to control it. And he wants us to be more like him, and he wants us to be gentle. And if you guys are old enough to watch that movie, you see that the lion, Aslan, is really gentle. He can be a roaring lion, and he could be fierce, and he could even kill the bad people. But he's such a strong and gentle leader, and that's the leading that we should follow. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'm going to show you guys my backyard next.
This right here is my favorite part of the garden. This whole wall is covered in this beautiful vine. And this right here is called a lilikoi in Hawaiian. But in English, we call it passion fruit. It's a tropical fruit that is so delicious and chock full of vitamin C. Thank you so much for taking a little tour of our garden. And again, all of this just happened besides this vine tree because we started watering it. As you are spending time with Jesus, you're going to grow, and you're going to grow fruits and vegetables and a lot of harvest in your life.